Okay, I hope this is going to work because I'm in your Google Meet so I could display my screen at the same time that I'm recording. I think it should be fine. So, a couple of people asked me to redo the last problem, which I'm not going to redo this problem because hopefully some of y'all took notes for it, but I've got two more examples of the same thing, and I need you to understand what's going on here, so I'm going to redo this. And here's the deal. If they ask you to find x, it's an entirely different thing from when they ask you to find y. So if they give you x, right? If they give you x, you just plug x in. For example, if I told you that f of x equals 2x plus 3, and then I tell you x equals 7, you're just going to plug that 7 in where the x lives, so you would write it with parentheses, equals 2 parentheses plus 3. So that's this thing right here, only with parentheses where the x lives. And then you just plug in, because they gave us x. They told us x equals 7. So I'll put f of 7 equals 2 times 7 plus 3. So f of 7 equals 14 plus 3, and f of 7 equals 17. So when x equals 7, because that's my input, y, which is f of x, equals 17. That's a straightforward plug-in. They give you x, and you get y, right? But here, the problem is, they want you to get x. That's find x, which is the same thing as get x, which means they have to give you y. And here's y right here. That is so funny. I really meant to sort of be on screen for y'all, but whatever. I'm here. So here is f of x really equals y. So what they said was, well, y equals 21. And they're saying, what is x? So we're going backwards. So I can't put y in the parentheses because that's not a y. But I do know that f of x equals y. So what I'm going to do is, here's my equation. I'm going to rewrite it, but instead of f of x, I'm going to say y equals 6x. And that's absolutely unnecessary. You didn't really have to do that. All you had to do was say 21, because they told us that f of x equals 12. I could have just said 21 equals 6x plus 9. Notice how I still have an x left over. I'm not plugging in for x. I'm trying to get x. At that point, you're just going to do the math, and I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides, and I'm going to get 12 equals 6x, and I'm going to divide both sides by 6, and I'm going to get x equals 2. So, once again, they gave me y, and I had to get x. So, blah, blah. So here's another example of that same thing, different day. And once again, they gave me y, because remember, g of x really equals y. Doesn't matter what letters they use, it's just blah, blah of some. So they tell me that y equals -1. So instead of g of x here, I'm going to plug in a -1. And then I'll write the rest of the equation exactly like they wrote it. It's not like plugging in x, different, because I still have an x left over. And then I have to just do math. And I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. And I'm going to get -4 equals 1/2 x. And then I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 over 1, because to get rid of a fraction, I multiply by the reciprocal. And remember that -4 is really -4 over 1 anyway. So those go away. So I've got x equals 2 times -4 is -8. 1 times 1 is 1. So I've got x equals -8. So what that is saying is that when f of x, g of x, because that's the letter they chose, g of x equals -1, x equals -8. That's the answer to the question. I hope that helps. See you.